A new report sheds light on what's been happening with crime in Billings. The police department's 2018 annual report reveals how often police were called out in Billings and for what kind of crimes. Q2's Samantha Sullivan shares some of the report's highlights.
In 2018, officers responded to over 93,000 calls for service. That's down from over 94,000 the year before. Police Chief Rich St. John says while at face value that's a positive, it's also indicative of a department that faced staffing issues for much of the year.
At any given time, we were operating with less numbers than we're supposed to. We had to pull officers to handle the calls for service, that the proactivity went down. And when the proactivity goes down, then you start seeing some of the correlated crimes go up.
Despite a decrease in calls, the number of violent crimes reported was up, but much of that was due to a change in Montana code that classified partner-family assault, including strangulation, as aggravated assault for the first time this year. Without those numbers, violent crimes actually plateaued. Meanwhile, property crimes were down this year. That's something Chief St. John credits to proactive police work. The Street Crimes Unit, which was created at the beginning of 2018, was tasked with being proactive in the community, disrupting crimes as opposed to reacting once the crime was already committed. St. John says he hopes for more of that in the future.
2018 clearly showed that when we were fully staffed, and we were briefly a few times, and we are able to field units that are designated to get after specific crimes, that they make a huge difference.
Another issue facing our community is traffic accidents, which were up this year. The number of traffic fatalities jumped from 6 in 2017 to 13 in 2018. And the number of DUI-related incidents increased in the city as well. It's an issue that's faced the Billings community for years, and Chief St. John says it's unacceptable.
The community needs to apply pressure to those who continue to drink and drive. There's no excuse for that in today's day and age.
In Billings, Samantha Sullivan, MTN News.
For more information on the report, you can find this story on our website. And as it relates to staffing, St. John says they are swearing in 7 new officers today. To the east, a homicide investigation is underway after 4 people were found dead at a property management building in Mandan, North Dakota. 3 men and 1 woman were found inside the building shortly after 7:30 Monday morning after employees failed to show up for a meeting. There is still no word on the cause of death or the identities of the people inside. Officers are actively searching for a suspect. Closer to home, a 22-year-old Crow Agency woman identified as the daughter of the Bighorn County Sheriff is dead following a weekend rollover crash on Interstate 90 east of Billings. According to the Montana Highway Patrol, Cassie Bighair was traveling west on I-90 early Saturday morning. She began to drift off the road, overcorrected twice, and slid into a fence, forcing the vehicle to roll multiple times. She was ejected from the vehicle and was transported by helicopter to a hospital in Billings, where she died on Sunday. Authorities say Bighair was not wearing a seatbelt, and alcohol and speed are considered factors in the crash. April is National Distracted Driving Awareness Month, and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is encouraging law enforcement to be on the lookout for drivers texting or using their cell phones behind the wheel. The U.S. Department of Transportation says 5 seconds is the average time your eyes are off the road while texting. At 55 miles per hour, that quick glance at your phone is enough time to cover the length of an entire football field. Montana Highway Patrol Sergeant Patrick McLaughlin says the roads start to dry. People are driving with less caution and more speed.
With the warmer weather, people are going to be doing more, and unfortunately social media blows up a lot more when people are out being active. So we see a lot of people on their phones, a lot of people not paying attention to the road. You aren't going to see it for probably a couple more weeks when stuff starts to green up, but people are going to be distracted more by the scenery, looking at the birds, looking at the animals, and again, not watching the road.
McLaughlin also says troopers have noticed many people not wearing their seatbelts and wants to remind everyone the importance of buckling up. From the 66th session, a proposal to expand state funding of preschool programs has missed an important deadline in the Montana legislature. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian takes a closer look at what could come next for the preschool issue.
The future of public funding for preschool in Montana is now uncertain after a major proposal to increase the state's contribution failed in a House committee last week. House Bill 755, sponsored by Republican Representative Eric Moore of Miles City, would have provided $11 million for public, private, and Head Start preschool programs. It would also have created a cabinet-level director of early childhood. On Wednesday, immediately after the bill had its first hearing, 7 Republicans and 2 Democrats on the House Education Committee voted it down. HB 755 was far different from Governor Steve Bullock's original plan to fund preschool, but he supported it as a path to make preschool funding permanent.
Representative Moore's bill was a good faith effort to try to say, how do we do this in the best way for our state, but most importantly for the kids who will be entering into our school system when they turn 5 years old. So it is really unfortunate that that bill was tabled in the House Education Committee.
HB 755 had drawn opposition from public education advocates like the Montana School Boards Association and the Montana Federation of Public Employees.
And I think the legislature has noted that this is the public education community opposed to this very bad idea. And I believe that has made all the difference right now in where we are.
The groups criticized the inclusion of funding for private providers. MFP President Eric Fever said their stance had been mischaracterized as opposition to preschool.
We favor pre-K education, we just are not in favor of privatizing it.
HB 755 failed to pass the House by a Monday deadline, so it is likely dead. But some form of preschool funding could still be amended into the budget before the end of the legislative session. In 2017, a late negotiation led to the creation of the STARS preschool pilot program, which provided some state funding for preschool. Bullock said he hopes lawmakers will look at the results of that program,
where they've seen what a difference it makes. So certainly hopeful that we don't take steps back from where we were last time.
In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
The failure of HB 755 means uncertainty for current preschool programs receiving support from the STARS pilot program. Local school leaders have said without state funding, they'll have to greatly reduce or eliminate preschool offerings. The first ever Montana Homeless Conference is happening this week in Helena. Those attending include government officials, healthcare workers, and tribal representatives. More than 150 people attend the conference. They hope to connect service providers across the state to discuss homelessness in Montana. Some of the topics include getting people who are homeless into housing, community-based planning initiatives, and educating homeless children. Organizers said the event is a good way to bridge best practices and show that homelessness has many faces in Montana. It's estimated that nearly 1,400 people in Montana are homeless. A new website lets online shoppers feel good about their spending habits because every purchase helps someone living on the streets. By working with local charities, the shop is reaching thousands of people in need. CBS's Gwen Baumgartner has a story from London.
Shefka waits in line for a free cup of coffee from volunteers. It's something small that he looks forward to after becoming homeless last year.
My mental health went so far down, but now I'm a lot better. I'm getting better as well.
To his surprise, he also walked away with something new to wear.
I think to myself, oh my God, I hope people don't come too close to me because they'll smell me.
The clothes were a gift bought by online shoppers through the website Unhoused.
For every order we get, we ship one to a customer and we give one to the homeless. So it's like a buy one, give one model.
Already, the site has sold more than 2,500 items and given an equal number to London's homeless. Varun Banat runs the shop from a small room in his parents' home.
So this is it?
Yeah, this is everything.
Boxes of hats, coats, and gloves line the back wall, ready to be delivered to charity or shipped to customers. The idea for Unhoused happened after Banat got down on one knee last August.
We recently got engaged and we had such a great year. We felt really blessed and we wanted to do something to, I guess, give back to the world.
With more than 170,000 homeless people in London, Banat knows their little shop can't reach everyone. He just hopes more people will buy into the idea of helping those in need. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, London.
The most sold item on the Unhoused website is a men's dress shirt for about $20. The charity says it's a staple for London workers and allows homeless to dress up for job interviews.